RingGangRadio.com. Take over. Last mission. Final boss mode.
Yeah, what's good, yo? Welcome to another episode of Real Talk, where as always, if shit's real, we talk about it. I'm your host for tonight, Pat Scorpio, the New England representative, and as always, I got my man with me. I'm gonna let him introduce himself.
Yo, what it do? You know what it is. The Shuttleworth the God, aka LB Lauderdale Boss, aka the Go Artist. RingGangRadio.com in the building.
Yes, sir. Ring Gang in the house forever and always. And as always, I got my other man with me. I'm gonna let him introduce himself.
Hey, yo, what's good? You already know who this is. Your boy King P, Bodega Boxer in the building. Ring Gang Radio, let's go.
Hey, Bodega P, straight from the sewer, except I know he had a day off yesterday. Since, today is Labor Day, so, everyone should be off indeed.
Yeah, I ain't doing no labor today. No labor.
No Labor Day. Yeah, no having to beat up any miscreants or any motherfuckers out there floating in, smoking hookahs in the flood waters and shit like that, or trying to commit some sort of crime, So, P got his day off, So, as always, man, we salute you for your service. You know what I mean? And last, certainly not least, I got my other man with me. I'm gonna let him introduce himself.
Hey, what's fly? It's your boy Conscious Pilot, aka the West Coast Avenger, number one contender preparing for liftoff destination Ringing Radio. Let's get fly, baby.
Yes, sir, man. That's Conscious Pilot. He stays above the clouds, you dig, man. So yeah, we got some stuff to talk about, man. And and we're gonna start off with recapping the Eddie card. Now, as most people know, being a boxer fan today, this summertime has been very trying. With torn retinas and COVID. People pulling out of fights and injuries and all types of other bullshit that's been going on there. So niggas is starving for some fades, some hard hitting fades. So now when Eddie's card came around, the 3 main fights on there, we might see a knockout. We might actually see a fight of the year potential card on there. So it was like, and it could have not come at a better time. As like I said, it was just a whole bunch of mid, like one fight and a whole bunch of mid going along there, so it's getting kind of annoying. So Eddie's card came on a Saturday in the afternoon, at least. Thank God it was the afternoon, because it was the evening time watching that shit. I probably would have lost my fucking mind, because I was like, oh, damn, I sat here and watched this in the evening. I could have been out getting drunk or some shit. So Eddie's card started off decent enough. Ebony Bridges got a possible gift, and she doesn't, has no defense or whatever. She kind of got touched up there. Her hands only, it's like a fucking balloon. Has one of those Mickey Mouse hands rocking right now. If you ever seen the picture on her Twitter, it's very disgusting to look at. Like it's horrible to look at.
But like a lobster claw, like it's swollen as fuck.
Yeah, like I've never seen. Usually it's definitely broken, or it definitely has something. It probably needs to be drained or lanced or whatever. I don't know what the fuck, but yeah, it was horrible. And then after that, you had one of the, you had the domestic cards. If you saw Maxie Hughes and Giovanni Straffon, like they went to war for 12 rounds. And it was one of the lower level fights. And you're like, okay, shoot, so Eddie's about to do this shit. Like this is gonna be one of those unexplainable good cards that Eddie be putting out on occasion.
That's what we thought.
Yeah, that's what we all thought. And then we get to Conor Benn versus Adrian Granados, and we were all pretty much thinking Ben was. Did anyone actually pick up Ben's decision, by the way, or not?
I think King P did.
I did.
He did. Good job, P.
I did, because but that was a testament of how little I think of Ben. So yeah.
There you go. Well, you won this one, man.
Yeah, you won. You definitely won this one, man. So pretty much.
I guess COVID did affect Ben though.
Oh yeah, because apparently he didn't know how to cut off the ring on people.
And COVID affected his accuracy, like
right.
Yeah.
Well, Granados did that. Like he kept. I've never seen a guy roll so many hands.
He was rolling punches like he was Floyd Mayweather for a second. Like early in the fight, I was like, everything that fucking every right hand shot that where Conor was trying to get him, it felt like Granados just showed the tough that he is and didn't know everything.
Yeah, like I said, Granados, whatever you think, whatever you might think of his record, Granados is a very skilled fighter, and he showed it
really
to
crafty, good fight.
The only problem with what he was doing was it was a lot of moving around, but he wasn't making Ben pay for it all that much, and he should have.
Yeah. He never gave. For all there were so many chances he could have got a counter and got him, give him some work.
And I think if he would have pushed the issue more, he could have really, took some rounds, because it's like he was getting dude tired and frustrated. But then if you don't put no type of punches together, you don't put the other part of the equation of breaking somebody down. I think that's where, Granados kind of.
That's where he lost the script. And then and basically, for the eyes of the judges, all Ben had to do was just throw them punches and look like he was actually outworking, and that's all it took.
Yeah, because he was landing like maybe 2 out of every 5 punches.
Yeah, and he was outworking himself.
He was definitely outworking him. He deserved the victory. I mean, that was.
Yeah, it was no robbery or nothing. There's no, it was a competitive fight, and it showed levels, but it showed that Granados, he's not in the. He wasn't fighting to win that.
No, he was fighting to spoil. And
it's like basically not to lose. Like do enough, like a good shot here or there, but play defense 80% of the time.
So let me ask you, Pat and LB, since I know Kenny P, how he feels. Did the fight? Because I think all 3 of us picked Ben to get him out of there, right? Do you think any less of him, or do you think with that performance against him?
With that performance, Ben still shows that he's still a prospect. Like he's not contender yet. Like dude still has a lot to work on. Because honestly, I was kind of shocked that he didn't know how to cut off the ring on someone moving around like that. That surprised me. It's like he's especially with your father being a fucking legend or whatever. Like he should be able to at least do a little better in terms of. Yeah, basically Granados was painting a masterpiece on that way. Left, right, moving, slipping. Dude's defense was.
It's funny we say that because we was ready to say Ben was a contender, and look while we was off the air, we was talking about the Abel Ramos.
Yeah.
And he was able to adjust and cut off the ring on Brian Mendoza on Sunday, and really kind of beat up the guy after the first 5-6 rounds.
Absolutely, yeah.
So we don't even want to call him a contender. We was talking about prospect, but that just shows there's levels, and he's gonna have to learn how to. And it's good he knows to cut off the ring, because at 154 you ain't gonna get all those developmental fights like
you're talking about 147 has. You're talking about for Ben at 147 though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, Ben's at 147, but he can keep getting these type of Samuel Vargas, Granados type of fights. Yeah. But you can't get that at 154. You'll go through a string of them, and then after a while, you're gonna have to test some guys who are gonna bring it.
So because it seems like they're carrying him. The past 2-3 fights, he's fighting guys that are quote unquote American fighters. So now's the time for him to get over and try to fight one of these PBC 147 jobbers, or no, none of that.
He won the fight, and I'm not. It wasn't one of those fights where you might need to run this shit back or whatever.
No.
Yeah, so you do have to.
He just wasn't impressive like that. Let's just be honest.
No, he wasn't. He wasn't impressive. Like
Granados didn't really fight back like that. Like
he could.
He wasn't fighting back at all. He was just turning sideways and then doing throwing out a jab, and then that was it.
Yeah, and the funny thing, and that's not how he usually fights. Granados took it to both Porter and Broner. It's weird that Ben he was doing all this shit and not really attacking him like he usually does, which was
he fought Robert Easter a lot harder than this.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and these are experienced guys who are just as dangerous as Ben, even more dangerous.
And he's taller. Like, come on.
He's the quintessential gatekeeper currently of of 147, 140. And she
Oh yeah,
I think
140,
you don't wanna get
147.
changed that
So
long.
yeah, so I was disappointed in Granados for not doing what is it, and of course he had the nerve, like Larry say that he wanted to fight. Like now, Granados has a whole lot of dodgy decisions go against him, and he has plenty more than enough, but this ain't one of them. Like,
Yeah, that's not one of them. He lost.
He lost, like, bro, like you were brought there, you know, to try to give the rookie some work, and you were just out there, you know,
You
doing.
ain't give him no work. You ain't give him really no work.
Yeah, no, yeah.
So who y'all
So-
want to see him fight next? Then, like, you throw some names out there.
Oh man.
Ben should face. That's a good question.
But hold on. Let me finish it. Is this gonna be?
How about
UK?
Avanesian?
It's gonna be UK, or is he gonna fight over here? He's gonna fight.
Avenija is a good name actually, a good fight.
Yeah, Avanesian. Well, I mean, there's a good chance Avanesian may actually bust them up too, which is another thing. So, but that's a good test for him though. I support that.
Let me see a couple of guys. I'm trying to check the 140 stat. See who would be a good little.
Avanesian is actually pretty dangerous for him at this
Yeah,
point.
it's a little dangerous. Yeah, more dangerous than Granados, that's for sure.
Yeah, Granados.
Of course.
It's either that one. You know,
Granados doesn't have any upset win or any big win lately.
How about Josecito?
Josecito Lopez.
Hell no.
Nah,
Yeah.
Not at this stage.
I'd rather him fight Josecito after he fights Avanesian.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I'm looking at the rankings. Avenue is about 11. Josecito's right at 10, at least in box rec. So I was trying to see.
Yeah, but when we're looking at who's fresher in their career,
Yeah. How about Sergey? No.
Lipinets,
Yeah.
I'd be okay with that.
not after that Boots win.
Yeah. No.
Yeah. That's
But Ben ain't Boots. Fuck out.
Yeah, that Ben.
Yeah,
I
but
mean,
I'm saying like, Boots beat the hell out of dude. Like,
Oh yeah. He put him. Yeah,
I'm trying to Derevyanchenko him. Like,
yeah, right. Well, I'm saying because fucking Boots. You know the way he took him out of there, it kind of showed that Lipinets really it shouldn't belong at 140. So it's kind of like.
Yeah.
let him fight the Avanesian Ray Robinson level dude right now. Like, somebody who's quality, who's teaming at world class.
I mean, honestly, Ray Robinson. Like, when's the last time he's even
Figgy?
fought?
How about Figgy? Omar Figgy?
Nah.
Stop.
What?
Get him out. Nah.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Why?
Yeah, you were good at PBC, bro.
That's what I'm saying, right? You got that PBC matchmaking in your mind, crazy.
Because most of the guys at 147 are on PBC. That are actually.
You gonna drag out? You want Felix Diaz too?
Robert Guerrero.
Oh hell
I don't
no.
want to say Guerrero, period. Guerrero lost me, after that bullshit, they need to retire him,
No,
about-
he won the fight, so we're gonna see him again eventually.
but Ray Robinson is a good one, because Ray Robinson, he still has the 2 draws in a row, which should be wins, so, yeah, get get him in the ring with Ray Robinson.
He's not worn out to this part where we're like, he's had too many wars like a Josecito. Like, Anishian and Ray Robinson is, I think a good level of fight for him. Then after that, I will kind of roll the dice on a former world champion or somebody who's in, maybe the top 8 or 9.
Yeah, like a Josecito, if you want to get Josecito Lopez or some shit like that, or give that a shot, yeah, roll the dice.
Yeah, because you can't sleep on Josecito, but get somebody who's on a little winning streak right now, who's in his prime, who's gonna offer more resistance. Granado's not it.
Yeah, no, Granados, and like I said, and it's a shame too, like I said, because Granados keeps his reputation intact. Dude still has a very fairly good
And Jesse Vargas is not it yet.
Jesse Vargas. Oh, he's at 154 now. So, but yeah, it was just disappointing. Ben. The flaws were there. Ben Granados, unfortunately, never rose past mid. And we were expecting at least some thumping to happen, and there wasn't enough of it. And then,
speaking of mid,
and then it brings us to our next, the co-main, which was Katie Taylor and Jennifer Hahn. Now, you know, Katie Taylor, for the most part, ability aside, you know, she's usually in pretty entertaining fights. You know, whether we think that she's won them or she's lost it. You know, typically she's an entertaining fighter to watch. So someone like Jennifer Hahn, whom he has like one fight in 3 years and is coming and has lost 50 pounds from actually having a baby. So you're kind of thinking that this should just be one of those things where Taylor should be able to stop her. After some time. And this was another fight. Katie Taylor just didn't look sharp at all. Like not sharp at all. And Jennifer Hahn seemed like she was just caught up in the fucking moment. You know what I'm saying? Like there was no like she didn't fight like she actually wanted those damn belts. And Katie Taylor was just like missing a hog, just like Ben was. Like something went wrong in this fight, and that fight just never clicked. And that shit was in this. And I know people were like, "Oh no, women's fights should be 3-minute rounds." Honestly, if this was a 3-minute round, I probably would have lost my fucking mind because like nothing happened in this fight. Like Katie Taylor, except for the dubious knockdown, which I don't even think was a really legit knockdown in the first place. I think some people just got tangled up or some shit like that. But I expected a lot more from Katie Taylor. Like this, Jennifer Hahn's not like a world class opponent. She's not a persona or anything like that, or whatever. Like she should have gotten her out of there, or at least attempted to really get her out of there. Like 2 minutes is 2 minutes. You can work, try to make it work. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. And it was disappointing to see this fight go 10 rounds against someone this, and I know someone like like CP who just is just not a fan of her at all. Like, this it's kind of say it's like, I mean, would you say Katie Taylor's pound for pound for women? Probably not.
What do you mean pound for pound? Like number one?
Yeah.
Nope. I wouldn't put a pound for pound number one.
I'm putting Serrano, Michelle. I'm putting Serrano, Shields,
McCaskill,
and fuck it. I'm not too high on her. I feel like I like Senicia Estrada better. I'm just saying. I don't know.
See, the thing was now, because I know they're trying to build up for Serrano and Taylor fight, and after looking at, honestly, I think Serrano will probably beat the living shit out of Katie Taylor. It's gonna be ugly. If you're going just with someone like, Serrano did go this, but at least Serrano actually was beating the shit out of someone near the end of that fight. This was just one of those fights where it's just like Katie Taylor was like, this was like a night off, and she fought like it was a night off. So Jennifer,
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, so and Jennifer,
she only has that second gear when she has to dig deep. Like if you don't push her,
right,
she's not gonna change into that second gear. Like the Tasha fight, she got pushed, and so she had to go to that second gear to kind of cinch that shit.
Right.
Pursuing, same thing. This lady, Han, she wasn't gonna do it, and it's like Katie Taylor, I don't know, man. She might be declining a little bit. Like, that might be the case. She might lose to Tasha if they had a rematch. Like, it's better to have a Serrano fight.
Or McCaskill might actually, in a rematch, might actually make it a lot more close.
I think McCaskill. Yeah, I think McCaskill in a rematch would beat him. But this is just a different McCaskill years later.
A different McCaskill. She's bigger, stronger. She boxes better. Like the physicality on the inside. If Breakage was having was going life and death with her on the inside, the tussling with her and the mauling and shit, and now McCaskill can punch better. Like, nah.
Yeah, no.
So with Serrano, because I think that's what match they're trying to make. Serrano didn't want to win a belt at 140. Do you know what class is she in right now as it stands? Because I know she won one at 140.
She should be at 135 now.
Right now?
Yeah.
I thought she was she don't want to. Okay. Well, yeah, they got to make that.
I thought she was at 130.
I thought she was at 120. Yeah, I thought she was at 130.
I know she got up and down the scales a lot.
Who? Who?
Serrano.
She's at her last fight was at 126.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, she keeps moving up and down the fucking scales.
No, this is
She just been jumping in the title fight.
She said she feels 126 is her natural, most comfortable weight.
Yeah, because she won one at 140. Because I was, watching the, I was looking at. I was like, I saw her win at 140, and I'm like, damn. She went up and she fluctuates. Like, women can do shit like that, not like guys. I'm just saying.
But then all she does is train, though. Like, she doesn't seem like she doesn't do anything for fun. She just trains all the time.
Yeah,
she talks about having no boyfriend, and no cell phone. She might as well be putting whatever she got for you.
Come on, she got a cell phone?
That's what she said.
From an iPhone.
Yeah, while she's posting from an iPhone.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Well, I mean, iPhones are the GOAT, so I get it.
Hell no, but we won't have that discussion now.
Yeah, but yeah, though, Kay Taylor, though, it was disappointing that, like, you used to want a little bit more from, especially when you're trying to build a fight with someone like that, and she puts on a stinker, like,
I think they make it seem like Katie Taylor's already a superstar, and I just don't get that from her. Like, she looks good, like the box, fast hands, quick, got skills, but I don't be walking away like dazzled from her fights or anything.
I don't want to sound like a nationalist, American, but I just feel like she gets the hype because she's UK and loves their boxing, and I just feel like she'll get exposed eventually, and I wouldn't be surprised at all.
Exposed won't be the word. I mean,
yeah, no, I mean, I don't think exposed isn't really the word. I just think it's just the way she's moving right now. She probably will get beaten soon.
Yeah. But honestly, I'm more impressed by Superbad than anything. Like,
are you talking about Estrada?
Yeah.
No. Yeah, she's bad. She's bad. Double entendre. But I'm just saying, she's bad.
Superbad.
Yeah.
But I'm saying, but like I said, this is where pretty much where Eddie, shines. Like, he pushes his fighters the way he needs to, and that's what Katie Taylor has that attention right now. So, but like I said,
they always try to make her fights seem bigger than what they are. But
and this fight,
fortunately, he puts her on good cards though, because let's be honest, Granado's Bend never should have been a main event on its own.
No, absolutely
no. Not after the Danny shit. You can't put him on it.
But once you put him up with Warrington, Lara, and Han Taylor, that sounds like a good ass card.
Oh yeah, that's
at least on paper.
That card should have been. I had hopes for that card, man, but I don't.
Yeah, and then now with these two, I mean, two of the big fights, you got two mids, and now you can go to the main event, which we all thought, okay, this could probably be another slugfest fight of the year type of caliber fight with Josh Warrington and Mauricio Lara, and the shit only goes 2 fucking rounds. And why does it go 2 fucking rounds? Because Warrington, this was in Leeds, which is Warrington's actual hometown. So Warrington, was feeling that pressure. So Warrington, their plan was obvious what they wanted to do. Basically, they wanted to get that technical decision win. Like, I don't usually call this shit out, but this is exactly what Warrington and team wanted to do.
Yeah.
Because Warrington from jump was leading with his fucking head. And the ref was was warning, but he kept on.
He was gonna get got. I got the feeling.
Yeah, because Warrington knew he couldn't take another ass whooping like that from Lara, and he knew Lara.
He was
that
was some
fucking bullshit. That was some fucking bullshit.
Both were coming in with their heads, but I think that's what kind of made him want to do it even more. But it was more accidental.
But I will say Warrington definitely. I mean, I probably would have gave Warrington the first round, man.
I thought he won both rounds. He was boxing much better, and honestly, the left hook was gonna be the game changer for him. Cause anytime he landed that left hook, he was snapping Laura's head back. Like that punch was getting the most reaction out of Lara. Like, he would sneak that in there. I'm like, damn, like.
There was a couple where I thought like maybe he could have maybe got him on a drop, not a flash knockdown, but I think there was a couple times where if he landed it right, he could have got that. He could have, maybe dropped.
You see what I'm saying? But now imagine if the fight would have win 5 or 6 more rounds.
I don't know.
To me, I actually thought that Laura's power. He was feeling Laura's power early, and he was leading. And every time he felt, he led with his fucking head in. and that's what caused that. That's what caused that first cut in the first round.
Yeah, he was trying to smother Lara. Like he was trying to smother and rough him up, throw him off.
You know, but it was just unfortunate that in the second fight too, like in the second round, that, you know, it was starting to heat up a little bit, but you know, it was like the heads were clashing, and then that eye really opened up, and it was just like, yeah, you can't do anything with that. So it's like, I mean, 2 rounds, anticlimactic, a technical draw. That's an automatic mid right there. Like, nah. Like 2 rounds ain't enough for me to say, you know, it's good or fight or not. Like it's an automatic mid to me. And after two mid fights in a row, yeah, this was just like, you know what? Let me turn off this TV and I'm gonna go out and go watch Shang-Chi or some shit. Which is exactly what the fuck I did, because I was irritated because, you know, like I said, you know, we had high hopes for this card because, like I said, on paper, you know, those string of fights, you know, something should have popped off, and the odds of all 3 of them not living up to their potential, yeah, that kind of hurt a little bit. That was kind of irritating.
And back to back, like,
yeah,
that's crazy.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Imagine like an old school Showtime triple header, and it's like hold on, old school. That was the Rigo card.
Yeah, that was the Rigo card. Yeah.
Yeah, imagine a month ago.
Yeah, and it just continued, and it was just really disheartening too, because like I said, it was just like, damn, like we can't even get an accidental good faith from Eddie, you know, from one of the, you know, from his cards like that. So it's just like, what the fuck is going on? Like, you know, like Eddie, like. Yeah, Eddie needs to get his shit together, man, because he hasn't had an accidental good card in a while. You know, he needs to get his shit together with this. You know, and it's just like, and all the fighters on that card need to get their fucking shit together. Like, there's no reason why we should have back-to-back mid fights like that. Like, no.
Yeah, it seemed more like it wasn't bad luck. It's just the individual performances from everybody were just like aligned with the wrong constellations or some shit.
Right. Yeah, and of course for us boxer fans, you know, it drives us fucking crazy. You know, that shit has actually happened. You know, and it's happened on so many different fucking platforms too. It's ridiculous, man.
It's just crazy, right? Like it's fucking yeah.
Yeah, so it's just like, yeah, Eddie. Yeah, you got, hopefully Eddie, you know, whatever the next card he's doing, that is if he announces his next cards. You know, actually no, the next card is like October or some shit like that. I think for
it's a whole bunch of mid, man. You'll have
no. The next card is in a few weeks, bro. Isn't it fucking AJ?
Oh yeah, that's actually his.
Yeah, with a mid ass undercard.
Yeah,
I mean, you got a Coley. I mean, they're fighting jobbers, but
the undercard is mid, bro. Like, I mean, we will definitely preview that shit too.
But they got a Coley and fucking what's his fucking name?
Yeah, no, but the thing is though,
Colin Smith.
No, but the thing though with these, like, the cards that should have the attention, like if it's a big fight like Joshua and Usyk, like the card, like the promotion actually try to build up the card, so you know if the card has its attention, you put like your brightest stars on the undercard and try to let them shine. So you can
it's not rocket science.
Yeah, and this is the problem. It was the problem with the PBC pay-per-views this year. It was a problem with TRs is different. TRs with the undercard.
We couldn't figure out how to get Quigley Andrade on the undercard of Usyk.
With Joshua,
Joshua, like that would have been a crazy doubleheader.
Well, Quigley who?
Jason Quigley, the nigga who got the gift against Mosley, son.
Oh yeah, who's he supposed to fight?
I'm saying, like, they're already talking about him fighting Andre, but they could have got that straight.
They could have put that one, or at least even put Shane Mosley and get a rematch on that. That should have been, that would have been dope.
Yeah, and that's the thing too. It's like, I mean, it seems like the only big card of the year that actually seems to build an undercard right so far is Fury Wilder 3, and it all depends if Fury Wilder 3 itself actually comes off without no bullshit. You know? Yeah, so it's just like it's basically you just tired of actually seeing these fights where it's just not being built up the way they need to be. So we have to sit through mid, and then if the main event is also mid, then it's just feel like it's a big fucking waste of time. So that's like the kind of streak that we're going on lately with some of these cards. And it actually started with the Rigo card of all things. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's like, yeah. So Eddie hopefully gets that shit. He needs to get that